Champions League nights are back, and this is the very tournament where a club's identity is forged, not in the long, attritional marathons of league campaigns, but in the white-hot intensity of continental floodlit encounters. For Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, a side brimming with the kinetic energy of a project reaching its zenith, the journey from Prem ascendancy to UCL validation presents its most formidable trial. Fresh from the cathartic triumph of a North London derby, where tactical supremacy and emotional fortitude were on full display, the Gunners now turn their gaze to a challenge of a different magnitude entirely, the perennial German champions Bayern Munich. This encounter is not merely a fixture, it is a litmus test. It represents the second and arguably most daunting leg of a season-defining November gauntlet. Having successfully navigated the treacherous waters of the derby against Tottenham, and with a looming confrontation against Chelsea on the horizon, this Champions League top-of-the-table clash stands as the central pillar in a triumvirate of trials. It is a contest that will measure not only Arsenal's technical quality and tactical sophistication, but also their psychological readiness to shed the skin of a promising challenger and assume the mantle of a continental heavyweight. The ghosts of past humiliations loom large, but so too does the tantalizing prospect of definitive vindication.
On the surface, this is a meeting of equals, a collision of two footballing leviathans who have navigated the league phase of the Champions League with imperious disdain for their opposition. Both Arsenal and Bayern Munich arrive at matchday 5 with immaculate records: 4 games, 4 wins, 12 points. The data, however, begins to sketch a fascinating divergence in their paths to perfection. Arsenal's progress has been built upon a foundation of absolute defensive parsimony, boasting 11 goals scored without a single breach of their own net. Bayern, conversely, have been a more chaotic, explosive force, leading the competition's scoring charts with 14 goals. Yet history casts a long and ominous shadow over the Emirates. This will be the 15th meeting between the clubs, making Bayern Arsenal's most frequent adversary on this stage. The recent memories are brutal. Arsenal have not tasted victory against the Bavarians since October 2015, and the intervening years have been scarred by a series of harrowing defeats, 3 of which concluded with the galling 5-1 scoreline that became a symbol of a painful era. But this is not the Arsenal of old. This is a team utterly transformed, as the parlance goes. The statistics of their current campaign paint a portrait of a side in complete control of its destiny. An 8-match winning streak in the league phase, accruing 24 goals while conceding a mere 2, speaks to a newfound consistency. At home, the Emirates has become an impregnable fortress. 15 consecutive group stage victories, 12 with clean sheets, have turned it into a coliseum where visiting ambitions perish.
Bayern, while formidable, show subtle fissures in their armour. They have lost 3 of their last 52 matches at this stage of the competition, all of them away from home. Their dominance is undeniable. They have led for a staggering 89% of their total match time, but their profligacy, evidenced by hitting the woodwork 7 times, hints at a vulnerability that a clinical opponent could exploit. And then there is the narrative twist you simply couldn't script. Harry Kane, the spectre of North London derby's past, returns with a Bavarian crest on his chest. No gifting of penalties, no more. His personal record of 15 goals against Arsenal serving as a chilling reminder of his predatory instincts. The tactical battle promises to be a cerebral affair, a contest between 2 philosophies rooted in possession and control. Both Arsenal and Bayern seek to dominate the game in the opposition's half, utilising intricate webs of short passes and probing through balls. Yet within this shared framework lie the keys to victory and defeat.
Arsenal's approach is one of methodical artistry. Arteta has cultivated a side that attacks with precision, primarily through the central corridors and down the right flank, where Bukayo Saka, with 8 goals in his last 10 appearances, operates with devastating effect. Our dynamic pressing scheme is a calculated measure, designed to maintain structural integrity luring opponents into traps before turning over possession. The consistency of the starting 11 has bred a deep, almost telepathic understanding. This cohesion is our superpower, buttressed by remarkable strengths. We are lethal from attacking set pieces, which is not a secret now, peerless at defending them, and possess an almost supernatural ability to create chances through incisive through balls, like we saw with Eze's hat-trick, and moments of individual brilliance by the likes of Trossard and Martinelli. Defensively, Arsenal are a machine. Ranking first for expected goals against and shots on target conceded, our rearguard, marshalled by the aerially dominant Big Gabby, is the bedrock of our success. But unfortunately, he's on the injury list for this game. But Piero Hincapié has slotted perfectly in his absence. Plus, he brings his experience from the German league. The balance provided by Declan Rice and Zubimendi, as we discussed in the last video, they are the midfield fulcrum upon which the entire system pivots. Bayern, in contrast, represent a form of vulnerable juggernaut. While they share Arsenal's love for possession, their frequent squad rotation can sometimes disrupt their rhythm. More critically, their weaknesses align almost perfectly with Arsenal's strengths. The Bavarians are noted as being feeble in aerial duels and often struggle to prevent opponents' chance creation scenarios. Arsenal, as a proposition, can create chances in many forms. For a team like Arsenal, whose set-piece prowess is statistically validated and whose creative midfielders excel at unpicking defensive locks, these are tantalizing vulnerabilities. The central influence of Joshua Kimmich, celebrating his 100th Champions League appearance, will be crucial in attempting to mitigate these flaws, but the tactical matchup appears, on paper, to favor the home side's particular set of skills, as Declan Rice and Zubimendi will have a great opportunity to dominate and decide this game. In his pre-match discourse, Mikel Arteta has masterfully navigated the line between confidence and humility. His words reveal a manager acutely aware of the moment's gravity, but determined to frame it as just another step on the journey. "We have the same intention to win it," he stated, a simple yet powerful declaration of intent. He acknowledges the quality of the opposition, calling it a beautiful and very demanding game, and a great test for us to see where we are. Crucially, Arteta resists the narrative of this being a final, legacy-defining match. When asked if a win would anoint his team as European elite, his response was a masterclass in pressure management. "We have never won the Champions League in our history, and Bayern Munich has won 6. We are nothing compared to Real Madrid. They're a different universe. So, we're going to get there." This is not imposter syndrome, it is strategic grounding. By contextualizing his team's journey against the grand sweep of European history, he insulates his players from the suffocating weight of expectation, allowing them to focus purely on the 90 minutes ahead. His acknowledgement of the relentless schedule, how privileged we are to be involved in 3 incredible games in 6 days, further reframes immense pressure as a profound opportunity, a mindset essential for any team aspiring to challenge on all fronts.
This clash at the Emirates is far more than a battle for top spot in the group. It is a psychological reckoning. For Arsenal, it is an opportunity to exorcise the demons of a decade of European underachievement and to make an emphatic statement to the continent. The path to victory is clear. Double down on your strengths. Dominate possession, leverage their defensive solidity to frustrate Bayern's potent attack, and, most importantly, prey on the identified weaknesses. The visitors' vulnerability in the air and susceptibility to creative passing patterns must be ruthlessly exploited through set-piece routines and the quick thinking of players like Eze, Odegaard, Trossard, and Declan Rice. With the roar of a home crowd that now fully believes, and riding the momentum from a significant derby win, Arsenal have the perfect platform. There can be no room for an imposter syndrome, no deference to the name on the opponent's shirt. This is about belief, about executing a game plan that has been honed to near perfection over 3 years. A victory here, following a 4-0 dismantling of Atletico Madrid and the recent win over Spurs, would do more than secure knockout stage seeding. It would serve as a continental coronation. it would be the moment Mikel Arteta's Arsenal cease to be spoken of in terms of potential and are instead recognised unequivocally as the new European top dog. This is the Arsenal blueprint, and you are watching the blueprint incarnate. Thank you for joining this deep dive. Please do share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this prognosis and found it valuable, please show your support by hitting that like button. Don't forget to hype, share and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, come on the Arsenal.